If you could go back in time to visit Portland on the first Earth Day, April 22nd, 1970, you would discover many things that today's Portland residents would find shocking. You would notice that all of Portland's untreated sewage and industrial waste discharged directly into Casco Bay and Portland Harbor. If you visited the Eastern Prom, you would find a large swimming pool at the end of Cutter Street that the city constructed because the ocean water was not fit to swim in. You would find surprises on Trash Day, too. While wandering down residential streets, you would see large piles of trash and observe no efforts to recycle or reduce waste. City crews collected whatever people dragged to the curb and then dumped it in the Ocean Avenue dump, which often caught fire, sending plumes of acrid smoke into nearby neighborhoods. Our community has made immense progress since that first Earth Day 50 years ago. The Portland Water District constructed the East End Wastewater Treatment Plant in 1979, which began the process of cleaning up Casco Bay. The city began to eliminate discharges from combined sewers in the 1990s and has since reduced the discharge of sewage-contaminated stormwater by 80%, from 1.8 billion gallons annually to just over 3 million gallons. And work continues to reduce this to zero. In 1987, the city joined with neighboring cities and towns to build a waste-to-energy plant on Blueberry Road. This facility is now part of EcoMaine, a publicly owned waste handling agency that prioritizes waste reduction, reuse, and recycling over disposal. In 1999, Portland adopted curbside recycling and our pay-as-you-throw waste collection program. Since then, we have seen our residential waste tonnage fall by nearly 60%, from 23,000 tons a year to 9,500 tons. In fact, Portland now generates less residential waste per capita than nearly any city in the U.S. We have also taken on plastic waste. In 2015, we became the first city in Maine to adopt an ordinance regulating plastic bags, and last year we became the first city in Maine to ban plastic straws. Portland residents should be proud of the tremendous strides they've taken to protect our environment and the natural resources that make our city such a wonderful place to live. But we face new challenges. In the coming years, we expect rising seas, increasingly frequent and powerful storms, heat waves, and changing ecosystems on land and sea. Rising water temperatures in the Gulf of Maine and increasing ocean acidification already threaten important fisheries. By mid-century, low-lying parts of the city, such as Commercial Street and Bayside, will experience regular flooding. Powerful storms and rain events will batter important infrastructure that we rely on, such as roads, bridges, and water systems. Increasing heat will exacerbate public health problems, especially for the most vulnerable amongst us. As stated in the Sustainable Portland Report drafted in 2007, climate change is the greatest threat to Portland since the Great Fire of 1866. Portland's been a leader in climate action. We conducted our first greenhouse gas inventory in 2001 and adopted a municipal climate action plan in 2008. We've undertaken energy efficiency projects in our city buildings and converted our streetlights to LED. We built a solar array on top of the closed Ocean Avenue landfill, turning a former environmental liability into an environmental asset. Recently, the city signed agreements with solar developers to purchase 2/3 of its electricity from solar facilities. We know we have much to do to meet the City Council's goal to reduce community-wide greenhouse gas emissions 80% by 2050. And even more work to address their declaration of climate emergency that seeks to end carbon emissions by 2030. To meet this challenge, we're working on One Climate Future, a collaborative effort with the City of South Portland to chart a course to eliminate carbon emissions, prevent the worst impacts of climate change, and prepare our cities for the impacts that we know are unavoidable. It will be up to us to ensure that people who live in Portland on April 22nd, 2070 enjoy the thriving, resilient community we all hope for. To learn more and get involved, visit oneclimatefuture.org.